and 205 packs of weed suspected to be Indian hemps were recovered from them. The amazing thing about this recovery is the means by which these items were hidden on this vehicle that we are seeing. And I would want to show our audience how the policemen recovered this exhibit. Okay, there's this video that trended online where a policeman was searching the engine compartment of a vehicle and they were playing this God help me at the background. Now, I made people to understand then that a policeman searching the compartment of a vehicle is not stupid. He knows what he's doing. You, as a layman, may not know the importance of what that policeman is doing. Now, this is underneath the seat of this vehicle. Underneath. Do you understand what it takes for a policeman to say, come down from the vehicle and they raise the seat and raise this before they find the exhibit? These 205 packs of weed suspected to be Indian hemp were hidden under this compartment where they usually place the seat on top. Underneath, 205 of that were recovered from this place. Now, when people are passing by, they might wonder, what the police keep for there when they find? What the police keep for there when they find? See what they keep there, or not the police keep them. People that kept it, they are there, and they will tell us where they took it from and where they are taking it to. So next time when you see a policeman performing stop and search on the road, just allow them be, because whatever they are doing from experience. My friend, you know you are my friend now. Police is your friend. What is your name?
My name is Uche, sir.
Uche who?
Joseph.
Uche Joseph, you are from where?
From Abe.
You are from Abe?
Yes.
Okay, so when you were intercepted with this, you were intercepted with about 205 wraps of weed suspected to be Indian hemp, or SK as you call it. Where did you get this from?
From Benin, sir.
From Benin? Where in Benin?
By bypass.
By bypass. Who gave it to you?
A man called Alaji.
Okay, these things here, what are they? All these weed, what is it they call them?
It's called SK, sir.
Eh?
SK.
Okay, now SK be this.
Yes.
Okay, SK. Okay, so when the Alaji, where you say from get am?
You didn't tell me where you forget it, sir.
Okay, where I tell you say you carry and go?
Owerri, sir.
Owerri, who they go give for Owerri?
A woman called Faith.
Where should they stay for Owerri?
By Futo University side, sir.
Photo University. So when you deliver them for her normally, what is she supposed to do for you?
She will pay me money.
How much?
Per one, carry per 115, sir.
Okay, one of these, the only one is 15.
Yes, to carry it.
So you now multiply 15 by 205.
Yes.
You be done, man. No, the crime looks like say it is sweet until they catch you. So how do you feel now?
I feel bad, sir.
You feel bad?
Yes, sir.
You dey take her?
No.
You know they take her. Why you know they take her? I want to know, just we are discussing now, why you know they take her?
I don't used to eat now.
Why you not used to it? What do you think say SK they do for body?
Me.
What do you think say SK they do for people when they take her?
So just for highness, sir.
They make their high.
Highness.
Okay, no wahala. But you know that being in possession of this in Nigeria is an offense.
Yes, sir.
So you know say na offense. So why did you accept to carry it? How long have you been doing this business?
It's my first time.
It's always the first time. We know that story not today with the Yera. So what gave you the idea? Why you hide down for that place? Where they for recover this thing inside your car? Where they for recover?
Yes, sir.
Where they for recover inside your car?
Yeah.
Where you hide down inside the motor?
Under the seat, sir.
Why you hide down there?
That is how they did the motor, sir. They did because of the business, sir.
Okay, they built this motor like this because of this business.
Yes, sir. It's a new vehicle.
Who built the motor?
The owner is not around, sir.
Okay, now the owner creates that space there.
Yes.
Who be the owner of the motor? Now your Oga,
No, the owner is at Ondo State, sir.
Ondo State.
Yes.
So I need to give you the motor.
He's working at Ondo State, at Jongo,
He they do this business too.
for Jongo.
Okay, now they do this business.
Yes.
Then you the help am, the transporter.
He bought the motor new, but he didn't know that I won't take this movement, sir.
Okay, no problem. So that space where they create under the seat now for the purpose of carrying all these things.
Yes.
Is it that make it dey safe or make police no quick see am?
Okay, police not push him.
Talk now, make people hear you. Make police. I be you want make I show your face.
No.
So talk.
Make police not push him.
So that police don't go quick see am.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So we are done with this interview, but I just want to reiterate the fact that when you see a policeman searching thoroughly, don't think that they are keeping what they did not put there or what they put there. They know what they are doing. Oftentimes we have recovered AK-47 rifles hidden like this inside vehicle. Just come close so that our viewers will see what we are talking about. Zoom this one, zoom it, let them see it clearly. This is 205 packs. I'm trying to get the grams of each one so that we will know the total quantity that we have here. All SK, according to him, said they are SK. And if you remember, it's part of what I wrote on X the other time, stating that youth should avoid this because it's just a matter of time. People take it
as if to say most of your officers are not Igbo smokers themselves, or something even like a stronger. I think it's legal for the police officers because if you see some of them either high on God knows what or drunk on, and they are still holding, sort of operating guns or carrying guns. Anyway, I just thought I should show you that. Nigeria may be hard though. Don't let yourself be used in smuggling some of these contrabanded drugs as well. You don't have to take my advice. I just thought I should show you that. In Nigeria, you can be a criminal. You just need to belong to the right group. For example, this heroin trafficker is the president of Nigeria. So if you want to be a criminal, just make sure you belong to the right one. Fisayo Shoyombo was on Arise this afternoon, and we're talking about the corruption in the prison service in Nigeria. He had himself, for his own investigative journalism, work, he had himself sent to prison. And from his own experience, they are talking about a VIP session in Nigerian prisons. And most of the people that usually arrange this, some of them are lawyers of the convicted criminals. And then they work with prisoners, the prison warders too, or warden. So Fisayo said, from his own experience, immediately you enter prison, the prison warden will ask you, do you have money? Between 50,000 naira and 1 million naira, you can be placed in a VIP session, or VIP section of the prison. And you won't have to be in the major, and you can have access to your phone, access to this, access to that. Shoyombo.
For every investigation I've done, it's because ordinary people went through those systems and encountered problems, and they thought it had to be escalated. So I didn't just, someone went to prison and came out and said, oh, wow, that's a cesspool of corruption. You need to find a way to get in. The person went to prison in 2017. It took me 2 years to plan. And in 2019, I went in. Now, by the way, I spent 5 nights in the police cell. All they wanted to do was collect bribes to free me. Because I didn't pay bribes.
This is from your own personal experience?
From my personal, we got someone to arrange that. I bought a car, a vehicle. I paid, out of 2.8, I paid 500, and I didn't want to pay the rest.
Okay, that's the
claim that was taken to the police,
okay.
And then they picked me up and changed the charge to stealing and hijacking of SUV. Person said I didn't complete payment and I didn't want to. So each day they were asking, oh, you don't have someone to come and settle your bill. They just wanted bribes. But I wanted to go to prison because police was not the target. So at the end, after Monday to Friday, they had to arraign me in court. First thing to note is that once the magistrate said remanded in prison custody, and the court closed, and they took me down to the holding cell. The first thing the prison warder did, there was a lady who was, working as my sister. They told me to go into their office in court, and they told her to peep into the holding cell. I had peeped myself, I saw, and they told her, "Is that the kind of place you want your brother to stay? Give us money, and your brother will stay in our office." Because we needed to be there until evening, when the prison boss would go around all the courts to convey inmates to prison. The prison warders approached me, I didn't approach them. And then, there was a negotiation, and then she settled for 5,000 naira.
5,000 naira?
Oh, yes. It's on tape. I want him to produce the videos the prison service seized from me in 2019. Because when you say some allegations are unsubstantiated, the ones that are substantiated, that were taped, that the prison service seized from me, produce them.
Wow.
Oh, yes. Not only that, then they came and then they said, "Oh, in prison, if you have money, you will never suffer. You serve the prison either with your body or with your money." I can tell you, Bobrisky did not spend time in prison. He spent 3 weeks and they moved him out. There's no single Nigerian who has money and does not want to complete their time in prison that will do it. It's only if they want to. From there, they told me I could get a decent place to stay in prison for 50,000, for 100,000, for 150. He even said 1 million. This was in 2019.
1 million. So how much are they supposed to be charging you per day for this supposed...
Different special rooms, depending on how much money you had. When the guy said 1 million, I said 1 million. He said yes. When Fayoshe was in Ikoyi prison, do you think he stayed in the general cell?
Wow.
That's the answer they gave me. These things are on tape. I'm not making allegations. These were things that happened to me that I filmed with the secret service. Tell the Nigerian prison service to produce it. Everything is on tape. The warders then told me that the warders in the prison had told the ones in court not to be striking deals with inmates, to wait for the inmates to get to prison so that the ones in prison would strike the deals by themselves.
Oh, because we were changing the warders.
Yes,
by striking
the
deal
warders
before
in
they come
court.
to you.
Yes, even in court, somebody approached me. The warders, call, say, "Who is working on your bill?" They called someone. The person, the lawyer, came and said, I work with the magistrate. If you pay 200,000 naira, you will sleep in your house tonight, even though the magistrate had pronounced remanded in prison.
Wow.
Yes, the only reason it didn't work out is I wanted to go to prison, not to get out.
So even when you were in prison, what was the condition like?
You get to prison,
wise, health-wise,
before you talk about sanitation, corruption it's an impossibly corrupt system. You get documented as a new inmate. They take your details and you submit any cash on you. The idea is that inmates should not be in possession of cash. You give your cash to the records office. Then you go back to the records office to say, "Oh, I want to make a call. I want to buy coke. I want to buy food." They release to you in bits so that you can't commit any crime. You can't do it. They then have, the warders then have convicts. Remember, they're awaiting trial inmates, they're convicted inmates. The convicted inmates know that they have nowhere to go. Someone who has a 7-year jail sentence, a 10-year jail sentence is loyal to the prison warders. Because that's your home for the next 7, 10, regardless of your sentence. Those ones then come to you, being documented, say, out of your money, you will remove 1,000 naira to the woman at the records office, doing the documentation. And we're many. When they allocate, so after they take your pictures online, then in print, they do double documentation online and in print, and then they allocate you to a cell. The prison warder in charge of the cell, you have to pay that. As of then, 29, it was 1,000 naira.
Per what? Per...
Just for being in the cell, for nothing.
How many of you are usually in the cell?
So many. It depends on how many inmates they bring in. I spent 8 days in Ikoyi prison. The lowest number of awaiting trial inmates brought in was 16. Sometimes 40-something, sometimes,
40-something in that one cell?
No. There's some... On the first night, you sleep in a place called welcome cell. You don't sleep like this. You don't sleep like this. You sleep like this. Like crayfish. When you open sardine, have you ever opened sardine? The way they pack, I'm not exaggerating. It's exactly. If Bobby spent one night in welcome cell, you think he will come out and speak to anybody? You won't come out. That first night, you keep asking yourself, who sent me?
Wow. Because
if I sleep and my head is facing the direction this way, the next person to me, the head then is in this direction.
So
you cannot turn.
Is at the back of your
yes,
head.
You cannot turn. You sleep like this all night. If there's no how. how you cannot turn. That's how you sleep. You know, its punishment is, and the thing is that once you have money, you bypass all these things. So
Really?
the prison authorities have to decide what they want to do. Is the prison supposed to be a punitive, or I've never referred to them as Nigerian?
And Barrister Enibe, who also was sent to Calabar prison by a judge who just felt like she had the power, or he had the power, or something like that, to send him to, is a lawyer who went to court to represent a client. And the judge took offense for the way he was kind of like talking. And then the next thing, they sent him to prison for 1 month. Lawyer for Nigeria, Enibe. We're talking about the VIP treatment in prison. Here is his own defense or explanation. Because in Europe, the reason why you don't have VIP cell in Europe prison or abroad prison is because they treat us fine. In Nigeria, you need VIP.
As at today, there is clearly nothing correctional about the Nigerian Correctional Service. The system is completely flawed. And I have had cause to say that the correctional service in Nigeria requires fundamental reforms. Nearly everything Fisayo has said is the truth. I can confirm to you that, yes, there are what they call special cells. When I was in Ikotekmene prison, they put me in the so-called special cell, right? And 50,000 was collected for that. I mean, I'm confirming to you, so I'm not telling you. These are things I have said publicly. I'm not telling you what I was told. I'm telling you my own experience. 50,000 for 2 weeks. And they insisted that, oh, you cannot stay in the general cell. You know, you are VIP. You know, you are this, you are that. So, and guess what? The so-called VIP cell, there's nothing VIP about it. The condition there is not even nothing. But at least in comparison to the other places, maybe some relative, better than the cell that I would have ordinarily stayed. But that VIP cell is inside the premises of the prison. It's not outside. So the truth is that in the prison, you have to buy space as an inmate. I paid for lights. They don't even, in fact, for about almost the entire period, I was in Uyo Correctional Custodial Center. Because I spent 2 weeks in Ikotekmene and 2 weeks in Uyo. We did not have electricity supply. Inmates were the ones who paid for their own kerosene. And they used lantern. I paid 1,000 for kerosene. And guess what? It is the water that are selling the kerosene. Everything in the prison is paid for. The food that inmates are served, you will not serve your dog. The gari is not only bad, it is despicable. If you see the food, so I didn't eat the so-called food there. I did not drink their water for the 1 month. I was on self-feeding. The system allows you to apply for self-feeding. I mean, if I had eaten what they served, I'm not sure I would have come out alive. Self-feeding, if you write a letter to the prison to say, I want to take responsibility for my own feeding. Okay. So you now nominate either your relative, your spouse, or whoever to be the one to be bringing food for you.
Pay for that privilege?
No, for the self-feeding, you don't have to pay. Okay. You just simply need to apply and then nominate someone to bring food for you. Because the food they are selling, giving to inmates, is ridiculous. So inmates now have to devise internal way of, concocting whatever they are served to make it, possible to swallow, not to eat. Inmates don't eat, they swallow. I'm trying to make that distinction. Because if you say they are eating, it's not food that they are served. And this is something I have said repeatedly. In fact, the correctional service in Nigeria is so bad. The day I arrived in Ikotekmene on the 27th of July, an inmate had died the previous day. The day I was leaving, an inmate had died. The day I arrived with you, an inmate had died. Like it was as if the death in the correctional service is so rampant. The healthcare is nothing to write home about. This is not limited to the correctional service that I was, the custodial center. It's a national thing. What Fisayo is telling you is not a lie. When you see how inmates are sleeping, the point he did not make is that you have to pay for the space. And this space you are paying for is to allow you to sleep properly. So there are inmates that, I'm telling you, there are inmates that have to stand. That I'm telling you that they may not even have the space, like to even squeeze themselves. Oh my goodness. It is so congested. It is so diabolical. The hygiene is zero. The water is nothing to write home about. The feeding. So I used to tell these NGOs that go to prison to donate food, you are wasting your time. If you want to go to these custodial centers to donate food items, donate on used clothes or whatever.
Yeah.
Be sure that you are there when those things are distributed to inmates.
Okay, because they never get to the purpose. They never get to the
The
people.
correctional officers, many of them are also prisoners. There is the only distinction is the uniform. They are grossly underpaid. I don't know if you are aware. They are grossly underpaid. Their welfare is nothing to write home about. So they struggle with the food. In fact, when I was for the 1 month I was there, I had food in excess. I mean, people were bringing all sorts of things for me. It is not only prisoners who were struggling for the food, even the correctional officers. Yes. So the system has completely collapsed. And guess what? Part of the reason that awaiting trial inmates stay for so long to go to court is that before you are even sometimes taken to court, you have to facilitate it. Yeah. If your relative don't come to give money, right to in-charge court, they call it in-charge court, the officer in charge of taking people to court, you may not have a court appearance. Because there are people, let me also shock you. Do you know that there are inmates in Nigerian prisons today that nobody outside knows that they are there? I met a gentleman from Adamawa who was in Uyo prison. Nobody knew. Nobody outside the four walls of the prison knew that he was there. And it's not isolated. There are people in prison that cannot be accounted for. There are people in prison that their court records cannot be traced. There are people in prison that have not been awaiting trial, that have not been taken to court for up to 5 years. Oh my God. It is that terrible. The system has completely collapsed. So one of the things I did while I was living is that, by the grace of God, I was able to facilitate the release of about 17 inmates when I was leaving. Because some of them were released on bail, they cannot perfect their bail. So all I simply had to do was that to make money available and get them out on release. And those that needed fine and all that. So what I'm telling you is that let the minister stop this hypocritical investigation. What the National Assembly is doing, as far as I'm concerned, is a product of parliamentary redundancy. Having not been able to do the real work that Nigerians have voted them to do, they are now distracting themselves with the Bobrisky matter. The member who moved that motion, Patrick Umo, was my senior in the university. He's a lawyer. I know he's a thorough person. But what they should investigate is not even just about Bobrisky. Bobrisky is, for me, the whole investigation to a large extent is a distraction. The real issue is the rot in the system, is the way inmates are treated as animals. In fact, the day I arrived with you, 2 weeks after I got a grade, they took me to you. This assistant controller of corrections told me, I had to challenge. I said, Madam, do you treat people as animals here? I said, yes, we treat you as animals. You don't have any rights here.
She actually verbally told you that?
She said it to me. Of course, at that time, maybe she had not known who she was speaking to. But she said it, this woman said it to me, here we treat you as animals. Inmates don't have any rights in the prisons. They have no rights. And it pains me because you will literally die. In fact, there was a gentleman who, in Ikotegbene, had an accident. His legs was seriously fractured. The medical facility there could not cater for him. I was the one who undertook responsibility for his treatment. And I did the same thing for several inmates. So I'm just telling you, it's not to sing my praise, I'm telling you how bad the situation is. There are inmates that, they have a call center in the prisons. There are inmates who cannot even afford to call their relative. So the system has completely collapsed. Anybody that tells you that we have this correctional service that is correcting inmates is wasting his time. That is why when people go there, in many occasions they come back, they are more emboldened. They go back to crime. There is nothing reformative about that system. The entire system is based on a mindset of slavery. It is based
So he said all of them, both of them spoke so well. The only one I disagree with is to say investigating the allegation against Bobrisky as it is, as it has come to light, is a distraction. I disagree with you. And I always. The expose, okay, fine. The House of Representatives is none of their, supposedly it's not their business. It's called, parliamentary redundancy. They should spend much time investigating all these things, the rots, especially of the tens of thousands of people who have either been illegally locked up, even the ones legally locked up and all that, right? The allegation made by Bobrisky was that he never stepped into that prison or slept there. He was given a flat outside. That is a crime, not the VIP treatment you are talking about, okay? And of course, for those who saw him when he came out, you can tell he never spent any day there. But Fisayo said, no, he was there for 3 weeks. Then after that, they moved him out. Maybe that was when he now moved to that flat outside the prison. So that's now like a crime. It is fine. The VIP treatment and the bribery is a crime, right? But it seems like it's available to everybody, including yourself. But him not being in prison after 3 weeks, because Fisayo actually did his own investigation. The first guy, he said he investigated, and indeed